Well, hello peeps. Here I am coming to you looking like a sheep, and we're gonna be talking about today the state of Demon Hunter in PvP. Now this is in light of the new kind of tunings that we are getting on the next reset, and as usual we're gonna have some BGI candy in the back while we go over it. But before I let you get on with the video, I do have to inform you that only 4.3% of you subscribed. So if you have been enjoying the content, please consider smashing that subscribe button. Also, hit the notification bell. Now first off, I kind of want to offer kind of a redaction. I have kind of tried out a lot more builds with Felskard if you have watched my previous video on kind of Aldrachi versus Felskard. And I must say, Felskard is a lot better than I originally thought. I was making also some mistakes with using my Sigil Flame kind of like either too late on the burst or like way before my burst, so it will like actually like the 20% mastery buff would actually go away. So I was making some gameplay mistakes with it, but today I tried out on stream all the builds possible, I think, with it, and I think still there is some issues with Felskard, specifically survivability. I feel like it's a little bit weaker, and also the double vengeful retreat from Aldrachi is very strong, especially because it's gonna proc glimpse 2 times. It's, yeah, that's very insane. Now, the thing that made me realize just in how bad of a spot we truly are on Demon Hunter was me a day ago or 2 days ago at this point, spamming out some Fury, getting it geared up and whatnot, and I realized, wait man, this is just easy mode compared to Demon Hunter. Like, God mode initiated. Everything I touch is dead. Everything I'm like doing feels like it's just has an tremendous impact. I'm talking specifically about damage, right? It's just insane how much pressure you have with Fury. Of course, it's broken. Of course, it's getting nerfed, right, as well on the tunings. But it's just so strong. It just showed me. That kind of made me kind of actually kind of realize, okay, we are not in a good spot. There's also just other classes that are just really disgusting to deal with, like Affliction. Even after I think after it gets nerfed, it's still gonna be really annoying. Warlocks are gonna be really strong. I think Frost Mages are annoying as freaking hell to deal with. Like, my god, man, it is the most disgusting class. But then also, the kind of meta has also received so much more CC in Hunter forms, right? Hunters can knock you back now. Hunters can, right, have a scatter shot and binding shot and have a root from Sentinel hero talents. Like, bro, like CC is insane. Didn't feel like this during Dragonflight, but right now I actually feel like there's a little bit too much CC in the game. Like, it actually feels uncomfortable to play. Like, uncomfortable to play a lot of the times. Now, moving into kind of the tunings, I'm gonna have them pop up on the screen, but I mean, let's be real here. Is really unnerfing the hunt gonna change too much for us? I really don't think that like changes the story of the Demon Hunter currently. I also think the hunt, like if they kind of go with the hunt being kind of a big thing for us, I think it's just gonna be kind of unfun for the enemies, right? It's kind of a, let's say, unfun damage profile. It's a very nukey, one-shotty, you know, ability. It has also good cooldown on it, so I'm not sure if that's really the way to go. From the Blizzard side, I really think they should event kind of the sustained damage and the sustained burst route, where they maybe unnerfing Essence Break, unnerfing some of the other maybe like Throglaive nerfs, or I don't know, like whatever makes sense, right, in this kind of consistent part of the damage. Immolation Hour, I think it has like a nerf on it because of Fire Inside being really broken, right, in Season 3. So in Season 3 of Dragonflight, right? So I think looking at some of those on the nerfs was a little bit better than looking just at the hunt, because it's like a 1.5 minute cooldown, right? And it's like, you know, not a very constant thing that we can do in our kind of playstyle, right? Now I say our damage, when you look at the meters, doesn't look like bad, man, but I really feel like I can't like kill sometimes targets. I can't kill anything. Like, healers feel like they just absolutely stop me in whatever I'm doing. That does not feel to be the case when I'm playing Fury, and again, that might be just the Fury. It's completely broken, right? But, you know, I feel like I'm doing pot damage a lot of the time. It's not like doing actual damage. But nevertheless, right, how they buff the damage is completely up to them, right? I think we could use something on the consistent side, but we might also just have to wait for the tier set, right? Like, when we get the tier set, we might just have a big spike in our consistent kind of damage side. Now, where we definitely have a problem, I think a big issue is survivability. I feel like it is back to pre-Reaver kind of days. It's not even like after we got into the nerfs in Season 4, but it's like back to literally pre-Reaver days where we didn't even have this passive survivability that they added with the kind of Season 3 rework of the Demon Hunter in Dragonflight. So it is really suspicious. I feel like I'm really dying to air in like arena specifically. I am dying like not actually dying, but like getting cleaved and having to pop blur from cleave like consistently, from not getting even targeted. I'm having to pop blur. Like that feels, maybe just like the meta is like that, but that feels really awkward to me. Sure, there is classes like, of course, Fury Warrior and whatnot that just have a really amazing cleave burst, but it really feels awkward. You know, in RPGs, it is a lot better because you actually have, you know, your healers supporting you. You have your heals working at 100% rate, so there's things to kind of buy you time and make you feel a little bit better in that environment. But you get what I mean, right? The passive survivability is just not there anymore. I feel like it can definitely use on nerf, right? I think also this is gonna impact our survivability during cooldowns, right, as well, because our survivability with like the blur right now is I don't think very good. Like maybe in arenas it can save you, but I feel like even in arenas it has to get overlapped with a healer cooldown. Even in BGs, right, blur is just not enough versus like many classes. It's like doesn't do enough, like versus like mages, specifically frost mages. Like frost mages are like a cancer to me. Affliction warlocks as well, like those two classes just absolutely slaughter you with damage. I just personally think they just need to unnerf the passive stuff. Again, we're just dying in stuns as well, and it's gonna make it feel better. I also have to give one thing to Blizzard. They are not buffing and damage and survivability in the same patch. I think that is very important for Demon Hunter, because survivability for us is also damage, right? Our damage is our survivability. So buffing one thing first, I really like that they're trying to do that. I personally really, again, feel like the hunt thing is very, like, I don't think it's gonna change anything for us though. Maybe with the classes that are receiving the nerfs, it might be enough, but then Frost Mage is not receiving any nerfs. Devastation Evoker is barely getting a nerf. Is it even like a nerf because it's getting damage on Eternity Surge? So, you know, DKs are not really getting a nerf as well, right? It's very, you know, little. So I'm not really sure that the hunting is gonna be enough, so I hope they go for survivability next as kind of a buff, and then they can kind of buff our damage to see where we are. Again, if they just buff damage like 3 times in a row, and then they buff our survivability, we're just gonna have like a big OP problem, I think, happening again. And I also kind of want to talk about the problem very specific to Demon Hunter that I realized. If you're kind of not the most popular class, like it's not the most popular class to main. It's very easy to ult, right? And a lot of people are gonna ult it when it's good, right? A lot of people are gonna play it. But whenever it's right not good, it's very easy to jump off it and go back to whatever your main, you know, main was, right? Now, additionally, we're kind of a class that garners a lot of hate. I think some of it is like justifiable, right? If you think about like some moments when it was like very OP, but I think it's also just people wanted to kind of talk bad about like an easier class to pick up and play. Even though I think Demon Hunter right now is definitely not easy compared to some classes like, you know, Frost Mage, which is like brain dead. But all of that and thinking about all of that kind of made me realize that we as Demon Hunters don't really have a voice. We have 2 very notable kind of Demon Hunters. They're very good players, right? And but they're not very, I would say, vocal. And even when they are vocal, I would say, right, we don't have really the reach, right? It's not the same as like some other classes just have really big representation in the community, right? From really big content creators. Basically, right, I just realized that we, as a kind of a spec in PvP, we just don't really have a voice. And I'm not here like, oh, come here, guys, subscribe here, I'm gonna be the voice for us. No. Point really is just me just describing what I have kind of seen, describing what I am able to see, right? The reason again why I'm talking about this is because when we had a lot of anti-Demon Hunter propaganda, you know, coming our way, I feel like there was nobody to kind of respond to it and talk about, right, the realities of Demon Hunter, right, as a Demon Hunter main and somebody who's played, you know, Demon Hunter 300 days when it was OP, when it was garbage, when it was the best spec in the world, right? Versus when you're just playing the Demon Hunter for 5 days when it was the best spec in the world, right? Like, you're just not gonna have the proper opinion. So I think that's one of our biggest things, bro. I mean, the anti-propaganda, Demon Hunter propaganda has just gotten us to this state where we are now in PvP, right? If there was not so much nerf this, nerf that, and nerf this from all the different kind of content creators of all different sizes, but there is some of big size that have, I would say, are biggest anti-propagandists for our class. In that one specific case, I actually had to stop watching the content creator because every time there was any talks about Demon Hunters, it was nerf this, nerf that, nerf this, nerf Cleansed by the Flame, which again, nerf Cleansed by the Flame actually got nerfed. maybe it's not the content creator's fault, but how do we escape roots now? Right, how do we escape roots now? Like, what do we do now? There was even people wilding out saying the blur is OP, bro. Play Demon Hunter right now and click blur, see if blur protects you, bro. Like, there was just so much craziness going around, but there was no Demon Hunter main to really come and say, right, hey guys, this is really how it is, right? Demon Hunter's damage is very important to its durability. Okay, you're nerfing Cleansed by the Flame, that's fine. Give us some way to remove roots. Give us a new PvP talent, right? Cleansed by the Flame number 2, which works for roots specifically and removes all roots, all movement spent effects or whatever, right? However you want to put it. I feel like we don't have that voice, right? We just had the big voices, everybody saying nerf this, nerf that, kind of making a platter of nerfs that Demon Hunter should kind of get. And yeah, I think we're now kind of suffering really the kind of backlash of that here. And again, this is not me pitching myself, hey guys, come here, subscribe, I will be the voice for us, or me ignoring more notable Demon Hunters than myself. It's just that when you look at the reach that we all kind of have together, it's not really that much compared to you know, kind of reach other content creators have and other specs have. And that gets us into this point where it's very hard for us, I think, to defend against negative propaganda, because whenever we are, let's say, OP, or whenever we have some issues, it's just not gonna get out there, right? If we are OP, everybody's saying nerf, nerf, nerf us. If we are not OP, right, it's not really gonna get out there that for us to get buffed, I feel like. And yeah, peeps, I guess this is a very unique Demon Hunter problem. I feel like all other classes have really notable content creators or larger content creators. We do have, I think, like Tren is like the largest person, but Tren really is not active on YouTube or active in that kind of way, right? He's a lot more just streamer, right? Any case, peeps, that's about it for the State of Havoc in PvP. I hope you've enjoyed this little video. Like, comment, subscribe, all those things YouTubers want you to do, right? And have a nice day. But if you're interested in how I felt after spamming some MOBAs about WoW PvP, there's a video for you.